friend, are you ready to engage and experience the more that Jesus came to offer you? We believe that He wants you to engage Him in every area of your life, like your identity and your finances, your relationships, your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, right?
Yes.
Spiritual health, all of those things. And so we're glad that you're with us today. We hope that you will like this podcast, subscribe so that you never miss an episode, and also that you'll invite your friends.
Yes.
So, hi, my name is Pam Pegram, and I get to hang out with my friends.
I'm Kim Ball.
And I'm Gwen Neal.
Yay! I'm excited that y'all are here. Excited for this episode. We're going to talk about something super, super important. So this is, what episode? Number 180? Episode 180. And we are talking about how do you balance between rest and work.
Oh,
This is such a good one.
Yeah.
This is a good
So
one.
we're in spring, right?
Yes.
So let's think back. What have we gone through over the past 3 months? We had
A lot.
New Year's
Yes.
Eve, New Year's Day.
Yes.
What's after that?
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day, Easter, sports. What's going?
Spring breaks.
Spring breaks.
Yeah.
March Madness.
March Madness. Before that, it was the Super Bowl. It's just been one activity after the other. And we say spring break, but do we break during spring break?
No.
We get back and we need a break.
Yes.
A break from
For sure.
spring break.
Yes.
And so today, listeners, viewers, how do we balance rest and work?
Yes. Tell us, Gwen.
Okay, we get to employ the scripture in Matthew chapter 11 where Jesus says, Come to me, all you who are weary and you're heavily laden or you're burdened down. And he says, I will give you rest.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love
he
that.
says, let's make it an exchange. You know, take my yoke, you give me your heavy backpack. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then life is good.
Yes.
So good.
Yes.
But
Okay.
You know what I find is sometimes that our heavy backpack gets to be almost like a weighted blanket. Like it just, we get used to it and we're not willing to, like we're not maybe motivated to give it up sometimes.
I like
we
where
just
you were
keep
going with that weighted
Yeah.
blanket.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's sometimes we use it as a comfort and we get so just used to it that it's just we wear it like a weighted blanket instead of we need to exchange the great exchange. You know, we
Lay
talked
it
about
down.
That. Yeah.
Yes. Lay it down at His feet.
That's right.
You know, go to Him. And I think, don't we go to everybody else? You're not going to believe what's happened. You're
Right.
not going to believe what we're having to walk through. You're not going to believe. And we go talk to everybody else
Yeah.
instead
We
of
don't
going to
talk to
Him and
God
saying,
about it.
"Here, God, I'm going to entrust this to you."
That's right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why do we go to everybody else? It's like, remember when our children were younger, like in that teenage stage, why would you ask another teenager?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
why?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Because we model that behavior.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, listen, God never intended for us, His precious daughters, His girls, to live burned out lives
Yes.
and burdened down from the beginning of creation. He modeled a rhythm of work and rest, not as a suggestion,
Yes.
but as the standard.
Yes.
The world pushes us. It pushes culture between heaven to just go. And when we align our lives with God's rhythm, we stop the striving and we start thriving.
Ooh.
Because we're working in our calling, we're doing the things that He has called us to do. And look, it may be that He has called you to do 5 million things.
Yes.
But if He has called you to do 5 million things, He will give you His strength and His energy and His authority to accomplish them all.
That's right.
You know what? That's super funny because, like, lately, probably this whole year, I just keep getting this question: how do you do all that you do? And I'm almost like, what are you talking about?
Right.
Because I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I have a
have
lot of
told me
time.
that.
I mean, I have a
Right.
lot of time at home. I have a lot of time with my family. I'm not bored, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I can feel every second, but yet at the same time, I'm at peace. And so I'm like, well, I really don't think I do a lot of things. I think I really just do one thing.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Because
And
you're
so-
being obedient.
yeah.
Because she does a lot.
Yeah,
If
you
you
do.
look at it from the natural side of it, I mean, she has dinner every Sunday evening with her family, and we're not talking about 4 people.
No.
There's a bunch of us. There's 12 that come for dinner. My oldest lives out of town, but the ones that come for dinner, there's 12 of us.
Yeah.
Every Sunday night. I have Bible study every Monday night. And I'm a coach, and so I meet with clients regularly. And then what else do I do? Oh,
You're
I keep
picking up
grandchildren.
littles.
You,
I keep
your
grandchildren
biggest ministry
2 days
is
a
to
week.
your
Yeah.
grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge.
And I just had 2 spend the last 4 days with me. And so I was momming, right? I'm
Right.
like, man, I had to get up at the crack of dawn to take her to school, you know. And
So
then,
that means you were cooking.
yeah, I had to drop one off at 7:30, drop one off at 9, go back and pick one up at 12, go back and get the other one at 2. You know, it was just like running. And but it doesn't have to be. I think we make it hard in our head.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Instead of going, and instead of letting God take you throughout the whole day until, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't cook as much as like you think I would have. I'm like, you know what I mean? I fixed what they wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And we ate accordingly just to make it easy.
You ate
know
the
what I
mac and
mean?
cheese,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
So just to make it easy.
That's right. So when we're on his time schedule, we're no longer striving, we're thriving.
Yes.
We're able to make multiple trips in one day,
Yeah.
do dinner, make more than one bed.
Yes.
Yeah, pick up toys, step on Legos, and not just go all the way down and pay.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So here's a key point. Work is worship, but it's not your worth.
That's so good.
Work is worship,
Yes.
but it's not your worth. Let's look at Colossians 3 and 23.
Yes.
It reminds us that we're supposed to be working as unto the Lord. When we get in trouble and it's hard and it's challenging and we can't go on, is when we're working unto ourselves,
Yes.
or when we're working unto our manager, or we're working unto the client.
Yes.
Because, and we haven't said this, oh my gosh, I almost shouldn't say it now. But it's when our focus is on Jesus
Yes.
Yes.
and not the person who signs our check,
That's
or
right.
not the person who the report is due
Right.
to, but we're focusing on him. So we're working as unto the Lord. And so your value isn't in your output. God loves you for who you are, and not what you do.
Yes. And if we think of the example that Jesus set, like think about what he did. Like let's just take the one miracle. Let's just take one.
Okay.
Where he feeds 5,000.
Bam.
Like if I was in charge of feeding 5,000, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would work out.
We can just spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or now would we be like, okay, we do big events, and so now we know how to allow people to help, to allow other people to serve, that it doesn't have to be only me doing this, and how to, let other people use their gifts and their talents. And Jesus performed a miracle, but just being with that many people and speaking and all the things that he did, well, then he took time,
Yeah.
right? Immediately after that, he went to go be with the Father.
That's right.
And I think that he's just setting that example for us. Like, this is how you're able to do, because God replenishes us.
Yes.
But for so many of us, we have all these habits that deplete us,
Yeah.
like drinking too much, or staying up too late, or eating too much, or eating the wrong foods, or like doing all these negative things that just drain us, instead of doing what is going to replenish us and knowing ourselves too. I remember I was at an event one time with Lisa Turker. She was the main speaker. And she's like, I know y'all want to see me. It was a conference. And she says, I know y'all want to see me. I know you want me to be in the halls and taking pictures with me, but I'm not going to be there because I can't do that and give all of me
Right.
when I speak.
Right.
And she said, but there will be a time that I'll show up for that after my last speaking.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
Time.
makes sense.
Right. And so, but for other people energize them. And so they need to be out in the hall in order to give their best. So I think too, part of that is allowing God to show you what works best for you and what He wants you to do. And when you should spend time with Him and when you should spend time with people. He guides all of that.
That's right. Absolutely. And so our work should be a calling, not a competition.
No, that's so good.
Yes.
It should be something that we feel God has called me to do this.
Right.
And that's how I can continue to serve Him and let God set the pace. And so what I've experienced over the past just a week and a half is I've been working 2 weeks, full long days. But then He's given me grace that when I come home or even at home, I may have another Zoom meeting or have to do one thing, I can sit in my chair, and y'all have seen the chair. I made a video of her. And I've never been this person, the recliner person, but it's a rocker, swirler recliner, and just sit for like an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's rest.
Be still.
Be still.
Yes.
And then, take my bath and go to bed or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's been a treat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I can still do the 2.3 million things that He's called me to do, but not in Gwen's strength.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then be able to say no.
Yeah. Right. And I feel like if we meet with God first thing in the morning and ask Him, what do you want me to do? Like, what's
Yes.
the to-do list today? And even those things that He may have called you to do, it might not be today.
Right.
And so He's gonna lead and guide you. Like, okay, God, you form and fashion my day. When I don't do that, it seems things are like out of alignment and kind of go crazy and different things like that. But then when you've prayed that, then you absolutely know that your whole day is God ordained.
Yes.
If you're flying by the seat of your pants or whatever, it doesn't go that way.
Right.
So that's a good reminder to myself that I need to be in active mode doing that.
Yes.
That's right.
100%.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're talking about work and balance, or rest and work, letting God give us that balance there and setting the pace. So rest is obedience. It's not laziness.
No.
Don't let anybody beat you up if you're taking a Sunday afternoon nap.
Absolutely
Right.
not. I believe in those now. I never used to,
Yes.
but I do. I
Yeah.
believe in even if I don't nap, but just to exhale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I get comfy when I get home from work. Like I have standard at home pajamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that means I'm done. When I put on those pink Juicy Couture pajamas, that 2-piece, it's over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so,
That's good.
that's not laziness. That's just taking a moment. Even if I put those on and I go out and I sit on the front porch,
Yeah.
or I do a little, flower stuff in the dirt, as long as there are no bugs and frogs around. That's relaxation. We need that. We need it. And it's not being lazy. God took a day off in Genesis. If He took a day off, why shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes. We can, but don't be lazy too either. We don't want to give people, don't want to give you a license to be lazy, because there's some
Right.
people who choose to not do what
That's
God
true.
is calling them to be, and instead they do spend way too much time doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we do have a calling, so there's a balance there too.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
For me, my replenishment is a 30-minute bath. I love to take a really hot bubble bath, and I have a tub that the water comes to over my shoulders. You know what I mean? So I slink down till it's all the way up to my shoulders. And studies show that a 30-minute bath is the same as a 2-hour nap.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go use my bathtub tonight.
Yes, and I take them a lot of times at night before I go to bed, and I sleep good. And a lot of people my age do not sleep well, but I do. I sleep so good. I think that's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right, that's good stuff.
That's very good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rest is obedience, not laziness. And rest is where our restoration begins. No rest equals no revelation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I want revelation.
Yeah.
I want it.
Right.
Yeah.
We want for God to reveal to us the next step.
Yes.
That, hey, good job, girl. Okay, you're ready to move up.
Yeah.
Or you're doing okay. Be content where you are.
Yeah. And I think it's important to say when we're resting, what are we doing when we're resting? Are we binging Netflix when we're resting? It's maybe not the same thing as you're not going to receive your revelation through Netflix. But if you're resting and reading, reading the word, or if you're resting and able to just like be still and just pray, whatever you're doing, you're not going to find your revelation in the latest episodes of on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think another thing that's restful is I love to play games, and I think laughing, that is another thing that just gives your body rest. Like there's something about
that's so good.
just laughing instead of being stressed out. You know, let yourself laugh out loud. Laugh until you pee in your pants.
That's
kind of
right.
laughing,
That's right.
Yeah.
And at this age, puzzles for me.
Yes, I love
That's
puzzles.
my thing.
Yeah.
And so now that Easter is behind us, like I have it out on my dining room table, and my husband bought me this table where I don't have to move now. That the puzzle table spins around.
Yes.
I can move it up at an angle, so I can work from the seated position. So anyway, that's my thing.
Yes.
And I do these puzzles, and then I frame them. I glue them and frame them, and I give them out to my family members. And it takes hours and hours, but it just calms me down.
Yes.
I love that.
It's restful.
It is. It's absolutely restful.
It is.
Okay, and so then our third key point that I want to share with you today is balance is spirit-led, not self-made.
That's good.
Yeah.
Love
And
that.
so I love the point that Kim brought up a few minutes ago about starting our day with the Holy Spirit and giving him our calendar, our agenda. We've made plans. We've had them written down, but we surrender our plans to him.
Yes.
That way, we're not all in a frenzy if we don't get everything checked off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's spirit-led, and we let the Holy Spirit guide our yes and our no's.
Yes.
Girl, can you meet me at so-and-so? We need to do... No, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
I wish I could.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Pam taught me the most graceful way. I'm not going to give away the secret. You can if you want to, of how to say no.
Oh, well, just to say, I would love to. I so wish I could, but I'm sorry. I can't. I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it so much.
Yeah.
She it's the no tempered with Southern charm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That-
Just letting them know that I wish I could. I mean, don't we? We wish we could do everything, but we just can't.
Yeah, it's just boundaries.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
It is. It's a boundary. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, and so we want to prioritize presence over productivity. Some of the most powerful moments happen when we pause.
Yes.
That's good. I love it.
When
Yeah.
we just take a moment
Yes.
and pause, and then to be very present in the moment.
Yes.
How many times have we been talking to someone and they say, yeah, I'm listening, I hear you, I got you, but you haven't looked at me.
Yeah, you're not. You didn't hear what I said.
No, you are not present.
You're not paying attention to me.
Yeah.
I think another good thing about the pause too. I love a pause because I try to pause before I react. I think that's a good pause too. Just to rest in him for just that, like 1 second before you say something you really shouldn't say.
That's good.
And she taught me that too. I mean, she's just a wealth of information.
I love
I
it.
don't know about that, but anyway.
Yes, yeah, facts. And so the last thing, and I think Kim just said that boundaries are biblical.
Yes.
And in the Bible,
Amen.
over and over again, do not move the boundary line of your neighbors, and they were speaking about land, but that applies to our lives as well. We can love others well without losing ourselves.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that
I love
just,
that.
I mean, the Garden of Eden. If you eat of this tree, you can no longer live here. and they did it. And they could no longer, they had to leave the Garden of Eden. Like God set that boundary. If you do this, you can't do that. And so it's biblical to set boundaries. I love that, boundaries aren't meant to punish other people, but to protect us.
Yes.
And so if you can think about it that way, like we want to stay in our character as a child of God. And so a boundary helps you not lash out, not to overreact, not to find yourself in a huge argument. Little things like if you're going to yell at me, to say, hey, I want to have this conversation with you, but not like this.
Yes.
Let's take up 15 minutes, meet back at my office with a cup of coffee or something. Like you set a boundary. Like, what are you going to do? Like, if something continues to happen in your life, how do you set a boundary around that?
Yeah, that's so good. And you're good at teaching us that.
Then you can rest, right? Then you find,
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So where do you find your rest? If something to reflect on is where do you find your rest? And are you striving and not thriving?
Right. And,
Right,
and keep in mind that it is not the Lord's intention for you to live burned out and burdened.
Girl, preach it.
Yeah. So if you find yourself, if
what are
you're
we supposed
burned
to have?
out,
He came so we could have what?
life and that more abundantly. Yeah.
Yes.
Not chaos, not extreme stress and anxiety,
Yes.
not carrying those backpacks
That's
that
right.
have
Those
become
heavy weights.
Yes.
weighted blankets.
Yes.
right.
Yeah. Get rid of it, girls.
That's so great. That's so great.
All right. Well, thank you so very much for joining us today. If you'd like to know more about setting healthy boundaries, how to balance rest and work in a way that is pleasing unto the Lord, feel free to reach out to Kim Ball, Pam Pegram, or myself. You can reach us on our various platforms. Pam has a website at
PamPegram.com.
all right, that's easy to remember. You can reach Kim at
Kim.ball@getwellchurch.org.
and you can reach me at GwenLNeal@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.